Hi guys! It's been a few months since I've done a video showing you my planner and journal lineup, so I thought that it was time to go through everything that I'm using now and explain what I've got, what's changed, what's the same. So as you can see, I've got quite the array of planners and journals here, and I've divided them into sections. My core planning system, my more specialized planners, and my journals and memory keepers. So I'll just show you each section one by one, starting with the everyday planners. This is a Hobonichi bag in the mermaid design by Minna Perhonen. It's absolutely perfect for keeping my three essential planners: my Hobonichi Kazan, which is my work planner, a B6 Salogy, which is my daily planner, and a Mega Weeks, which is my personal planner. And then I also have a pen case that I have two Kaweco Sports in, just in case I need to write in another notebook that doesn't have its own pen. So let me just take these out and show you one by one. So the very core of my planning system is my Hobonichi Kazan, which is my work planner. This is in one of the covers from the 2019 Hobonichi release. And I have a Lauren Phelps Designs jelly cover on here. So as usual, my Kazan is used for everything to do with work. So I use the monthly as a future log to schedule all appointments and to-dos that are for the any time in the coming month. And then on the Friday or the Sunday before the start of the next week, I'll move them all into the weekly spread. So this is what my current weekly spread looks like. It's not super full at the moment because I am kind of trying to work a bit less because the summer has been really manic, working from home and preparing for online teaching in the autumn. And so I just kind of got to a point where I was really, really fatigued and worn out, and I've had a bit of a break and I'm now trying to kind of not overload myself for the next week. I'll do a separate video on my Kazan where I go into more detail. So this is just a quick overview. And then, as you know, I use the daily pages for a combination of daily planning when I have a day that's too intense for the weekly to be enough, and for notes that are not day specific. So for example, I want to make an introductory video for my students telling them about what the course that I'm teaching is going to be about, and so I've just made some notes for that here. I use a pencil for this because I like to be able to erase, and a lot of times plans change and I don't like crossing out or using Tipp-Ex. So that's my work planner. And really, as I always say, if I could just have one planner, this is the one that I would choose. I wouldn't like to have to do that though, so that will just remain a hypothetical. Then we have my personal planner, which is a Hobonichi Weeks, and this year I have a Mega. And I've been using it in a pretty kind of messy way, really, just to record all of the things that I kind of need to remember or have to do. So not appointments, it's a combination of a tracker and a to-do list, and then I use it for notes, basically. So in the monthly spread, I keep track of things like when we've changed the sheets, when I've done laundry, when we've given our dogs flea medicine, worm medicine, all of that kind of thing. And then I also track non-planner related orders. Then in the weekly spreads, it's also, like you can see, it's quite a mess. I am not pretty planning in this at all, although I'm thinking that I'm going to change this up for next year, and my 2021 weeks, I'm just going to get the standard weeks and put stickers in it, which means that it will bulk up a bit, but it won't, get thicker than this Mega Weeks is without stickers. So on the left, I track what time I've got up, or how long I've slept and exercise. And I also put in events that are day specific or things that I have to remember to do on a particular day. And then on the right, I put in to-dos, which can be for the week or they can be by day. So here I've kind of divided them by day. So you see there's a gap here. That's because I didn't have anything for Thursday. So I just put some more on Friday. So it sometimes looks kind of, it forms some patterns, and I don't really care too much what it looks like. And then I use the rest of it for notes. When I originally bought this, I was using it as a daily planner as well. So I would make a kind of weekly spread on some of these blank pages. I sectioned off like the first 100 and was using them for daily spreads. And then at some point I switched over to using my daily planner more, which I'll show you in a minute, and so I just ended up with a lot of blank pages here, and that's one of the reasons why I think for 2021 I'm going to go for a standard weeks instead of the mega, because I have my daily planner. So you might have seen this recently because I did a flip through of it. This is a B6 Stalogy. And I'm really pleased with myself because James and I had a great crafternoon's work recently where we de-ringed a Filofax Domino in personal size, which fits this absolutely perfectly. So yes, this is a de-ringed Filofax Domino Luxe, and this is a Kara's Customs fountain pen that I use with it, and it just fits absolutely perfectly. So I also was inspired by Dakshina to make some washi designs on the end paper. Then I just have some astrological vellum here. So the whole thing is kind of astrologically themed, which I didn't really intend to do. It just kind of came about organically, but I'm really, really happy with this, how this turned out. And then every day I just write down my expected time schedule. So I do this at the end of the day. I'll kind of like write down my plans for the next day and put in my kind of map of how I'm expecting that it will go. And I really like about the Stalogy the fact that, first of all, it's undated, so if I miss a day I don't have a blank page, and secondly the fact that it has this timeline with half-hour division, so I can really get a good map of the day. And then I will put my top 3 or top 4, and then recently I started writing down my to-dos in kind of chronological format on the right. So I'll just write down everything, whether it's a really small mundane thing like take the dogs out, or one of my bigger goals that I've put on the time schedule here, just so that I can see everything laid out in front of me, and it's a combination of work and personal. So I guess these 3 planners together are kind of like my complete everyday package, and that's why I really like having them in this bag, because it's quite a small bag. It's really just basically A5 size. And if I have them here, then I know that everything that I need is right here. Strictly speaking, I don't need a daily planner. I could get by with just these 2, but I quite like having the daily planner as well, so that I can sort of see everything in front of me for the whole day with a mix of work and personal. Because in terms of actually planning, like more long-term planning, I really don't like mixing work and personal, so I like having these separate. So I don't like having, like, say, personal to-dos in the middle of my work planner. That kind of freaks me out. But in the daily planner I feel like it's okay, because it's not really a place for long-term planning. It just is from day to day. So when I get onto the actual day, I'll just say, okay, like this is what I'm going to do today, or really tomorrow. And then when I wake up the next day, I've already got it there ready, and I can add to this to-do list as I go through the day. So this is my core planning system here. And now let's move on to the more specialized planners. So they don't have their own bag. I keep them on a shelf in the living room. It's called my planner tree, because it's a shelf that's kind of in a tree design. And I have different sections for all of the different types of planners and the empty notebooks and everything. So in this section, I've got 4 different planners, and these are all planners that I use for some specific purpose, rather than, like as a kind of just a sort of like everyday practical planner, like the ones in this bag are. So first of all, I have a new addition to my lineup, which I did a video about a few weeks ago. This is a Paper Blanks B6, or more or less B6. They call it midi size, but it's like a B6. 2020 to 21 18-month horizontal planner, and I got it because I just absolutely love this cover. It's so cool. It's like a wizard ship with a dragon on it. And I originally bought this thinking that I was going to use it as my personal planner instead of the weeks, but then I quickly realized that I just can't handle life without a weeks. So I switched back to the weeks, and instead I made this into my weekly overview pretty planner, which I'm really happy about. So you might say, well, why do you need a weekly overview pretty planner if you have a work planner, a personal planner, and a daily planner? And the answer is, of course, I don't need it. I just do it for fun because I'm a planner person. So I really like this, and this is a place where I can just decorate and also write. It's kind of like a cross between a a dirty planner and a pretty planner. It's like, it's kind of pretty. I can use a lot of icon stickers. They're mostly from the Happy Planner. And then I also have some stickers that I got from this great Etsy shop called Hadassah Levine, which I'll link down below, who makes Jewish planner stickers. And that's really nice because now I can have all of the days of the Jewish calendar, and I can also have Sabbath times, and this is like the marker of the beginning of a new month on the Hebrew calendar. So I really like having that. And I can also use trackers and all kinds of things that if you saw in my everyday planners, they're very, very basic and functional, and I don't put stickers in them at all. They're completely minimalist, just pen and paper or pencil and paper. So it's just nice to have a place where I can kind of have a bit more fun. And it also really serves as a way of kind of reinforcing things in my brain. So when I write them down, if I write them down twice, once in here and once in one of these, then it kind of reinforces it in my head. Now, I don't need to do that. So this is all like kind of redundant information. There's nothing in here that is not in one of these other planners. So the idea with my system is, because I have all of these different planners, I don't want to get lost and have too many books that I have to check. So basically the idea is that anything important that I really need to do, I'll put in here. And it's in here, it's in this bag, I know where it is. And essentially, if it's anything timed, I put it in here. So I never lose appointments because they're always just in this one book. To-do lists that are a bit more flexible, I have in the personal planner and then in the daily planner. And then this is just a kind of repetition of the same stuff, really. So there's absolutely no need for it. But I kind of like being able to plan in this way, and I just enjoy flipping through it and seeing how things went. So this is really just like a fun weekly overview that also combines work and personal, and it's basically just an excuse to use stickers. And I'm looking forward to seeing it when it's done and just kind of being able to flip through it. So that is this. If you hear snoring in the background, that's Tails, one of the dogs. And there's another dog sitting on the sofa right next to me, so she might make an appearance, as she did a couple of videos ago. Then the next in this section is my Amy Tangerine Archer and Olive collab A5 vertical planner. And I absolutely love this planner. It's just beautiful. I love Amy Tangerine's artwork, and I really like her style and the rainbow colors. And I was really delighted to hear that they're planning on bringing out a new one for 2021. So I'm looking forward to that. So this planner is really just a creative outlet, and I use this for making coordinated spreads with mostly Happy Planner stickers. And so again, this just is like a weekly overview, and I do it once a week on my day off, which is Saturday, and I will just put all the stickers on. I'll choose a theme. So like this one was fruit, and this one was planners. This one was cacti. Sometimes the theme will be a sticker book. So this was the pastel rainbow sticker book, so I just use that for the week. And then I just do an overview of the month in the same color as the color for that month. So every month has a different color. So you can see some of the ones that I haven't used yet. So November is this kind of minty color. October is like a dark blue. And so I'll just use that color. So June was orange, so I just use that to kind of put in a monthly overview. And then this one was birds, vintage botanicals, Black Lives Matter, llamas, teacups, sloths, constellations, citrus fruit. So yeah, that's like basically what I've been doing. And again, there's no like need for this. This doesn't serve a practical purpose, but it's just a really fun way to be able to make nice spreads using stickers. And this is the only planner that I have where I get to do these coordinated themes. So this one was cake. And I feel like that's because somehow my other planners, like my everyday planners, are so functional and not pretty that I can't mix the two of them. So somehow if I'm going to be able to have fun with stickers, I feel like it kind of has to be in this like dedicated way. At least that's how it is for now. I'm planning to use stickers in my weeks next year, but they'll really be more like accents. So I'll put in a couple of stickers you know, like kind of maybe functional icons and some decorative stickers when the week is over, but nothing like this, because I feel like for it to be really practical, I just want to be able to open it and write in it and not have to worry about what it looks like or setting it up first. So this is like a separate kind of thing. And before this planner, I had never done anything like this where I made a themed weekly spread based on like a, you know, a topic like citrus fruit or planners or anything like that. And I started doing it with this because the boxes in this are designed so that they fit the like kind of, you know, very common sticker sizes. I think they're 1.5 inches, so they fit like Happy Planner stickers, and you know, this is like a kind of really standard width. And I think that that is kind of what motivated me, because I'd never had a planner that I was using decoratively that perfectly fit those dimensions. So it just was an excellent opportunity, and I found out that I really like it and I want to continue with it. So this is my pretty planner, and so I'll just write down all of my plans for the week on Saturday after I've done the stickerating, and then I really don't look at it again. I don't use it for the rest of the week. But again, I think this is kind of going to be something that will be fun to look back on afterwards, and I can see all of my plans, and I just really enjoy it. Then we have my planner. So this one does have a more practical purpose. This is my planner that I use for everything planner related. So you've seen me talk about this a few times before. I decided that because planning is my main hobby, it makes sense that I would have a planner. And so this is a Leuchtturm monthly planner / notebook for 2020. And so in the monthly spreads, I write down anything that I want to do that's planner related. So like, for example, make videos. So I'm trying to make videos once a week on Sundays usually. So I write down what the topic for my next video will be. And then I write down, if I have an idea for how to decorate the Amy Tangerine, I'll write that down. So I thought a gold spread, and then I want to do cupcakes. And so I'll just kind of keep that in here. And because it's planner related, I know that it's in here. If something like this was really important, I would put it in my everyday carry section. So I'd put it in my personal planner and then into my daily planner. But because this is something that I do for fun, usually it's not urgent. So I just, you know, kind of know that all of my planner related stuff is going to be in here. And then for August, I wrote down the schedule of the Hobonichi preview calendar. So every day during the month of August, they're, you know, announcing something new to do with the September launch. So I put that all in here so that I would be able to have it at a glance. And then I keep planner orders. I do like journaling about planner related stuff, just whatever I want. So here I'm keeping notes about the Hobonichi previews. So I'll write down what happened every day, because they usually don't tell you until it opens. It releases at like, well, 3 a.m. my time in the UK, 11 a.m. Japan time. And so I'll write down what it was, and then if I had any thoughts about it, like if there have been any that I have been interested in. So like, for example, the mother covers, I wrote about that because I thought, oh, I'm intrigued to see what more details about what those will be. So yeah, so I'm kind of using it as a sort of like preview journal, and that's really fun. And then I decorate some pages in advance, all with like kind of planner themed stuff. And sometimes I'll tip something in. If I've had an order from an Etsy shop, I'll tip it in just as a kind of like reminder of that shop, and also because it seems appropriate as kind of like a scrapbook, I guess, of my planner adventures for the year. So that's how I'm using that. And I've got a new one, which I did a review on recently for 2021. So when this finishes in December, I'll switch over to the new one. So that's my planner. And then I have the Fat Hobo, which is my A5 5-year Hobonichi Techo. And I use this basically in a similar way to this one, except that this is a daily planner. So I use this as a way to get in a little bit of stickerating every day. So in the evening or whenever I have a break, I will stickerate the next day. So kind of like get it ready, and then I'll write in my plans for the following day in that. So this is today, so just a few plans. So it's also not really something that I absolutely need, because I've got all of these plans in my other planners. So like I said, everything that I absolutely need is in here. The rest of it is just for fun. But I really like this because it's a 5-year Techo. And so that means that as I'm planning tomorrow, let's say, I can look back and see what happened on the same day a year ago. And the idea is that, you know, as it grows, by the end of the 5 years, I'll have a complete book of memories that I built up one day at a time. And it's very easy to do one day at a time because it's such a small space, and I just cover it in stickers and then write in a few plans and to-dos. And I, again, inspired by Dakshina, I made a washi end paper here, just with like some of my Happy Fun washi that I use a lot in this planner. And this planner is just like kind of totally a sticker art experiment, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And I finally discovered quite recently that these Mumsy and Bub A5 TN covers that I have fit it perfectly. Obviously it's super lumpy, as I've discussed before, because it's unbalanced. So the top half, like where the first and the second year are, is like full of stickers, and then the bottom half is still very skinny because it doesn't have any stickers yet. So I have to wait another 3 years before it will even out. But yeah, Mumsy and Bub is a fantastic shop in Australia that makes beautiful high quality vegan leather TN covers, so I'll link that down below. So that's my Fat Hobo. So these are all of my specialist planners, and then we've got my everyday planners. And then finally, we have the last section, which is trackers and memory keepers. So these are not for planning, they're like for journaling and recording events that have already happened. And the first one is my English original planner. And this is in a cover from Hobonichi that they came out with, I think in 2018. And it was actually yellow and green and white. And James and I dyed it green because I didn't like the colors, but I really like the design, so I'm quite happy with it. You can still see the pattern there, but it's all green now. So this one is basically my like kind of daily journal, and I really like it because it's A6 size, so it's not too overwhelming. And I just make sure that I journal in it once a day. It takes about 10 minutes, and I use this to try to kind of turn around negative thoughts. So I like really suffer a lot from anxiety, and so if I'm really stressing about something, I'll try to like use CBT principles to write down like, you know, okay, what am I worried about? What's the worst that could happen? So I use this to basically just kind of try to change my thoughts about things that I'm worried about, and by the end of the page, like tell myself like, okay, if I was really anxious about X at the beginning of the page, by the end of the page I'll have found a solution to it, and like kind of turn the thought around. So that's what I use this for. So again, no decoration, very plain, I just use pen, but I switch up the color of the inks. So you can see here, I use this yearly calendar to mark whenever I've replaced the fountain pen ink. So I go in a kind of like rainbowtical order. So yeah, like I started with blue and then went green, yellow, orange, and I just kind of keep circling around for the whole year. So that's that one. And then I have my A6 5-year techa, which I just talked about in my last video. And so in this one, I write down highlights of the day and my favorite things that happened during the day. And I'm on year 3 now. So this is exciting because it's really kind of starting to feel like a multi-year memory book. So I just write down like 6 things that happened during the day, 1 per line, and then 5 things that I really enjoyed that happened over the course of the day, my favorite things. And each year I use a different color ink. So by the time I get to the end, I should have a nice array of like kind of rainbowtical ink patterns. So again, I just write in this once per day at the end of the day, and it just takes a couple of minutes to do. And I have this nice record. This is in a Bloom cover from Hobonichi. Then I have another A5 5-year techa. So I've got 2 of them. One is this one, the Fat Hobo, and then the other one is this one, which is the Skinny Hobo. So you can see that these are complete opposites because this one does not have any kind of decoration in it, no stickers at all, it's just pen and paper. This is a cover from Lyra & Co. on Etsy. I'll try to link all of these shops down below where the various covers are from. So I put a piece of vellum on. This is just like cute rainbowtical snail vellum, but other than that, it's just totally plain. So I write in this, again, every day. So the way that I try to keep this manageable is that instead of having like this whole block of time where I have to write in all of my journals, I try to spread it throughout the day. So every time I've finished with a particular work task, I'll say, okay, now it's time to journal. That's my reward. So that's like 10 minutes. So I can like make a cup of tea and then like sit and journal for 10 minutes before going on to the next work task. And that way, it's actually only about like, I don't know, 20 or 25 minutes spread throughout the day. and so it doesn't feel overwhelming. And then by the time I get to night, I generally only have this one to do, my daily highlights, which only take a couple of minutes. So it actually doesn't take that much time, but then I get to feel like I have this nice amount of journaling to look forward to throughout the day. So here I write what I'm grateful for, and then things that I'm looking forward to, and then I write accomplishments, and on the other side, and then things that I worried about. So I'll show you this one. This was from yesterday. So looking forward to like making my video, watching a film, Netflix, planning tomorrow, the hobo reveal, things that I'm grateful for, and then things that I did that I accomplished during the day that I'm like happy about. Then I also write down, so anything that I'm like kind of anxious about, I'll write down here as if it has already happened. So like, you know, kind of positive visualization. That's what I use this for. This is a dashboard from Catspresso. And this is another Kara's Customs. Okay, so now we get to my last planner, and I think that it's pretty clear what this is. So I'm just going to say quickly that I bought this at the beginning of 2020, thinking I was going to use it as a home planner. Oh, I actually didn't show my home planner. I'll do that in the next lineup video. So my home planner is the planner that I use to write down jobs that I give to James, basically, and then he sees them, and then he will, like, you know, do those jobs. That's what I was going to use this for, but then I ended up buying a hardbound Happy Planner for that, and so this did not have a use, and it was sitting on the shelf for a while. And then I decided to start using it at the beginning of lockdown as a memory keeper, and I went back and back planned, which was quite easy to do thanks to my daily highlights journal. So I could just go back and like kind of fill in what had happened over the past couple of months, and this became a really, really fun lockdown activity that I enjoyed a lot. And I got to use some of the stickers, like bigger stickers that I wouldn't be able to use because I don't fit in my other planners, and I was really enjoying it. And then when the whole graduation incident happened, and I think people know what I'm talking about, but if not, I'll leave one of the first videos that was made about it down below. This video by Dean Nija. I was like, I'm not sure what to do with this, and I decided to keep it because I'd already invested so much energy into it, and I had, you know, like I put a lot of work into it, and I really loved it, and I thought it doesn't make any sense to get rid of this. So I'm not tagging it, and I'm, you know, like kind of not mentioning it in my description, but you can see what it is, and I'm going to keep using this until the end of the year as my memory planner. So what I do with this is, for the monthly, at the end of the month, I'll go back and like kind of just do a bit of decoration and kind of write in some of the highlights and lowlights, some of the main things that happened in that month. And then every week, I'll go through, take this and pick out the most memorable things that happened over that last week. So for a while I was really like kind of doing a few weeks at a time, because I started this, I think around the end of March. Remember, it was right when lockdown started, so it was probably right around here. And I went back and kind of filled in all of January, February and March. So I was really kind of trying to catch up so that it didn't, you know, just, I didn't get massively behind. And I consider it quite an achievement that I managed to do it. I'm really, really pleased with that. And then I got to where now I'm kind of like on quite an even schedule with this. So I do this once a week, and I'll do it like for the week behind. So we are now here on the 17th of August, and so what I'll do is, like, when I get to this Saturday, I will go through and do this previous week. So there's a little bit of a gap between where I currently am and what I'm planning. So it's a nice reminder, because whenever I go through this and like I'll see, oh, what do I want to document? And I'll think, sometimes it's like really small things, like we were watching Peaky Blinders, or I met two of my colleagues for like virtual drinks. And then sometimes it's like, you know, bigger things, like another colleague retired, and so we had a like virtual coffee for her, and I got a new eyebrow ring with an opal in it. I was really excited. So it's like a lot of, you know, very small everyday things, but it just makes me happy to go back and see it, and I get to use decorative stickers, and I'm not writing anything in this, so I'm using only alphabet stickers. So I go through a lot of alphabet stickers, and these ones are from Simple Stories. And I like using washi and lots of stickers, and you know, it's just really fun. And I guess again, like, this is not so important in that, like, I already have my days documented in this, but it's just a completely different experience. First of all, planning out the week, or like back planning the week, memory keeping the week, I guess. I'd never done it before, and it really kind of makes me happy because it's a way of like reliving those memories, and I hadn't ever quite got that before. And so this is the first time that I've really kind of appreciated how nice it is to like kind of be able to look back and sort of remember things that happened, and I don't know, documenting them kind of feels like it sort of gives them value somehow, like raises their value. And so I really enjoy that. And then I like looking through the completed months as well, just to see, you know, what I was doing. And somehow looking at it like this, it's very different than reading it. This is, you know, like a cool experience, looking back over what I did in previous years, but it's just writing. Whereas this has the decoration, it has the pictures, and somehow the visual element makes it feel different. So yeah, so I don't really have a set pattern for this. I just use whatever stickers I feel like, and I just, you know, kind of want to make it look fun and enjoyable. And I don't like do spreads in this, you know, I don't like pick themes, because this is kind of more about just documenting what happened. So yeah, so that's how I'm using this, and I would like to keep doing this next year. I'm just not sure what planner I'm going to use for it. So that is my recording, memory keeping, journaling, tracking stack. And then we've got my specific planners, like planners that serve specific function stack, and then we've got my everyday planner stack. So there you are. This is, yeah, quite a substantial amount of planners and journals, but as you can see, I really enjoy them all, and I use them in different ways, so they all just kind of like add to my enjoyment of everyday life. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!